We interviewed Vice President Biden on Thursday, the day before the FBI director's announcement. But Hillary Clinton's email server, as well as hacked emails showing more coziness between the Clinton Foundation and corporations and foreign governments, were on our minds when we sat down in the vice president's ceremonial office. I asked him if it was inevitable there would be a conflict between the Clinton Foundation and Hillary Clinton's role as Secretary of State.
I think they've acknowledged that they could have done it better. The good news, thank God, is there's no evidence of anything that's been illegal. But it's like, for example, they've now said that when she wins, he's getting off the board. I hope when she wins, if she wins, he'll get off the board of the foundation. I think if they could go back and do it again, they'd probably make some changes. But
should they just shut it down if she wins and becomes president?
Well, it does too much good to shut it down. I mean, it really. I've not been the number one defender of the Clinton Foundation, but it's done too much good. So shifting it to other control of others beyond the Clintons, I think could be I think it's going to be necessary when if she becomes president.
Trust and honesty has been a big part of this campaign. Voters don't trust either of the two candidates. And I went back and looked at promises to keep. And you talk about your grandfather Finnegan and his lesson, which was public servants are obliged to level with everybody, whether or not they'll like what he, the public servant, has to say. Do you think that applies to Hillary Clinton's dealing with this private server that she set up?
Well, I think it's a combination of a couple things. One, I don't think she understood the gravity of setting it up. She thought it was, this was okay to do. And then when this woman has been so battered over the last 30 years. I think then when faced with this is a problem, I think instead of just cutting it and dealing with it immediately, there's always a inclination to overthink it. But I really do believe my grandfather said. I think people reward you being straightforward. My state of Delaware was it was a red state, not a blue state when I got out there. And I'd say things and people would come up and say, okay, well, at least I know where the kid stands. I still think it's the best policy, but when you have been on the other end of a concerted effort, justified or not justified, to undermine your credibility, I think you probably are in a different place in terms of how your instinct has to respond.
If she's in that other place with those instincts, does she need somebody, if she were to be president, to push against those instincts to keep what your grandfather?
Yeah, I actually do think she does, and I think she knows she does, and I think she's also knows that when she's elected, she's going to have to be prepared to be more open as president as to what her feelings are about things. But there's kind of a double standard, John. I get all this credit for being authentic and now even Biden gaffes are now, Biden tells the truth kind of thing. But I'm a guy. I go out and if I start talking about my beau and I get filled up, my son who died, they say, well, he's just a good, decent father, honorable man. If she were to do that, you'd have a chorus of she's playing the woman card here, she's crying. A little bit like Michelle. Anytime Michelle Obama said something strong, well, she's an angry black woman. There's a sector of the electorate and I think that has a tendency, at least over 30-some years with Hillary, to cause her to close rather than open.
When people talk about your candor, what they say is you say something true maybe ahead of time, maybe before it's all been worked out, and that's worked well for you politically. I think what I hear from voters about her is they say even when she's saying something that may be right, what they hear from her sounds like she's not being straight with them. That doesn't seem like a gender thing.
No, but Hillary said herself, she said, look, I'm not that good a candidate. I think she said, I'm not Bill or Barack. A lot of it has to do with personal style. And I do think she is more measured and she makes fewer mistakes than I make or most people I know. But I just think it's more, it doesn't go to her integrity or honesty, it goes to her style.
You send emails?
I don't. Let me back up. Occasionally I'll get an email from a family member, but I don't have my staff send me emails. If they do, they text me something. But I'm sure I have some emails, but the answer is no.
Are you happy these days that you don't?
I'm very happy that I don't have an awful lot of emails, but who knows? The way the Russians hack, they may have hacked into anything I have. I don't know.